We are starting the show. Welcome to comedy. Welcome to Temple of Bard's live talk show. Yeah. How are y'all doing? Great. Well, we're here to fix that for you. Don't you worry. Yeah. So I haven't been doing comedy much the last couple of months. My mental health really improved, but I'm back now. Yeah. No, I've been doing this like coming of age thing really loudly lately on the microphone. Like I'm turning 30 soon in like a year and a half, and I'm freaking out about it. And I talk about it so much because I'm waiting for somebody to come up to me after one of these sets and let me know that, like, you know, in fact, everybody over the age of 30 does know what's going on, and this is just an elaborate prank that everybody else is in on, and I'm not in on it, and one day I'm going to figure it all out too. And on the day of my 30th birthday, I'm going to wake up and there's going to be a pamphlet in the mail saying, here's how to succeed as an adult, right? Yeah? Yeah. Yeah. I really wish that as my family was like evolving through evolution, that they had just left me as like an ape or a salamander or whatever. Because this is not that great, I'll be honest. I think I was pretty close to staying in that state for a minute, but then I moved out of Florida, so yeah, here I am now, evolved. No, actually, people say that we're made of like stardust, right? And that's nice, but that sounds like a really convoluted participation trophy to me. I want to be a real star. That's why I do stand-up comedy. Yeah, here we go. No, in Eugene, Oregon. As you can tell, I had a really powerful imagination. My parents would encourage me to have an imagination as a child, and we didn't have cable when I was a kid, and we had to like read these like books, you know. And I was also really into those PBS Nova documentaries. I don't know if anybody. Yeah. We watched a lot of those. I loved them on VHS and stuff. I mean, I don't know if y'all noticed this, but those things were actually really bad for my self-esteem. I went into school one time after a weekend of watching these documentaries, and I said that that's what I did with my family this weekend. And a kid in my class said, "For fun?" Yeah, so now I self-identify as an introvert. I know that I have a lot of really weird, I have a lot of really weird hobbies, and as much as I feel introverted, I always find myself doing stuff like this on stage, asking for your attention. And so these weird hobbies just come to me, and I know that they're weird because every time I tell a friend of mine that I'm doing something new, like they wait for the punchline. Yeah, and I had to drop a lot of my hobbies when I went inside for the pandemic a few years ago. I really didn't think that my neighbors would appreciate my severely mediocre bassoon skills. So I started doing more quiet things, and so now I just grow carnivorous plants and hand embroider curse words to hang in my bathroom. You should have heard all of my friends and family's reaction when I told them that I was going to go to grad school, which is why I'm here in Eugene. And so the reaction was, you know, still? Again? Yeah, forever, probably. Yeah, no, it's, I've been at school for a long time now, and I do worry that an entire decade in education, higher education, has really not been good for my mental health. I can feel myself just getting more and more jaded and cynical, which is not great. And that cynicism is slowly turning into nihilism, which frankly makes me a little bit of a hypocrite, right? Because you can't both do stand-up comedy and be a nihilist. I'm up here because I need you to love me. No, I've been in Oregon for like 4 years now, and I'm slowly starting to feel at home here, and I'm feeling comfortable, but I know I'll never truly be at home here, never truly be an Oregonian, because my Birkenstocks still give me blisters. I'm hoping that goes away too, but I don't know. No, my favorite Oregon story ever as an out-of-stater, my favorite Oregon story is about that whale that they blew up like 50 years ago. Yeah. I love that story so much. So this dead whale washed up on, if you're not familiar, washed up on the shore. I love this story because it is so clear to me how important weed is in this story. Because this whale is washed up on shore, and the experts said, let's blow it up. So they get this TNT, and somehow they either use too much TNT or not enough TNT, and so this whale gets blown up, and these chunks of this whale were so big that it like crushed people's cars and stuff when it like flew and fell. And I mean, as a Floridian, I cannot imagine being given some explosives and just not using enough of it. I guarantee if you give me something to blow up, it will be blown up, and a lot of other things will be as well. Yeah, so there's that, and I've been learning a lot about nature and stuff out here. Like, you've got these animals, these nutria, you know about these things? They live in the rivers, yeah, they've got like buck teeth and rat tails. And I love that. It reminds me of dating in Florida. I'm really starting to feel right at home here. No, it's been pretty hard to meet people. I haven't had the easiest time with that. I've been living in my apartment for like 3 years now, and I still haven't met my neighbor. But you know how people always say like, oh, I wish these walls could talk? I don't have to wonder about that. I can hear everything. Not only do my walls talk, but like, what do you do when your walls sneeze? What do you do when your walls start snoring at 8:30 at night? I mean, it's amazing. My apartment is so incredibly small. I live alone, but I feel like I've got roommates, you know. My upstairs neighbor, it's amazing how much noise she makes. It sounds like she just like runs back and forth all day long, and I don't know how, because we don't even have leg room in these apartments. No. And like, I have to move my furniture around to do my dumb little yoga routine in my living room, which is also my bedroom, which is also the only room in my apartment. I'm just glad I've got a door in my bathroom, which I know it's small already, but if it wasn't this small, I know for a fact this place is meant for one person because my bathroom door doesn't have a lock on it. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even buy a house right now, even if I could afford it. Like, I've never been in a place and thought, yeah, I could die here. Lately it's been like, ooh, I could die here? Yeah. I promise I'm not miserable. I just really like to make the people around me miserable. That's why I do stand-up comedy. No, okay. Well, I'm Emilee, and I'm really excited. We've got a great show for you all tonight, and I'd like to introduce our lovely host, Temple the Bard.
Give it up for Emilee, everybody. Right on. Well, I'm Temple the Bard. I'm your host for the evening. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for being here on Temple the Bard's live talk show, Eugene's only live late-night formatted talk show, minus the writing staff, production income, network backing, etc. Yeah. So I assume you all got your letters from the government lately. Yeah, you're nodding your heads like you have. Yep, mandatory polyamory is now the law of the land. So anyway, they assigned me to a veterinarian in Veneta and what else? It was a chiropractor in Coburg. And both of them are named Steve, which is convenient for remembering their names, but like, what the government hasn't told me yet is how the hell I'm supposed to pay for all the gas to get back and forth from Coburg and Veneta. I mean, it's not like my car runs on mediocre blowjobs and reluctant emotional labor, you know. Yeah. So it's great to be here in Eugene. I've lived here close to a year now. It's really a cool place, and I love so many things about it. You know, I love the nature. I love the people. I'm even starting to get used to the really weird looks I get when, like, I tell some white person, "Hey, did you know it's cultural appropriation to have those dreads?" You know, those looks are starting to be priceless. You know, I should make a MasterCard commercial. But another thing I love about being up here is I love Fred Meier. Like, Fred Meier is like this really beautiful, unique experience. Like, I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to have a little Fred Meier in my life. Like, it's so big. Like, I think I've gotten to the end of the store, and then I turn a corner, and there's like a whole another 2/3 of a store left to go. Like, I found the ironic cleaning products aisle. That was great. The discontinued products aisle, that was fabulous. Hope y'all stocked up on Crystal Pepsi. I know I did. And then, they had the Tweaker Supply products aisle, and I checked out the new line of Loyal to the Foil activewear, and that was good. And then I found like this board game called Pandemic, and it was like filed under games. And I was like, no, after what we've been through, this is not a game anymore. So I flagged down an employee. I'm like, hey, this game is absolutely filed in the wrong place. It should be filed under ironic hipster, fucking sad boy, like, edgelord shit. Just go put it back there. And she's like, actually, I see what you're getting at, but where it should be filed is under people who deal with constant suicidality and hate themselves. I'll be going and putting it back there for you. Like, all right, you know the aisles better than I do. But you know, like, I hope I never have to work at Fred Meier, because what creeps me out about Fred Meier is, like, when you're there at the top of the hour, you hear it ring through the store, it's like, boom, it's the top of the hour. Fred Meier Associates must now spit at their current chaw and start a new dip. Fred Meier Associates must do the hokey pokey. However, if you're caught turning yourself around, you will be subject to disciplinary action. Associates locked in the freezer for hokey pokey related disciplinary actions will not be let out of the freezer. However, we will be bringing you a survival blanket in order to comply with OSHA regulations. So, I almost ended up having an experience kind of like working there. I thought I was going over to the, I don't even want to talk about that aisle. I don't want to talk about that. Keep that personal. But I was going to go check out another part of the store, and I went into a door, and I ended up accidentally getting locked into a storeroom. And it was really scary. I was in there for like the better part of a week, and it was just really nasty. And finally, they let me out, and like I was safe, and I was on the TV news and everything. But I've made some good out of it. Like, I wrote a screenplay about my experiences. It's called 5 Nights at Freddy's. I'm gonna pitch that. I think I'm gonna make a lot of money off that. Maybe we can get Nicolas Cage involved somehow. Well, I think we're going to have a pretty darn good show tonight. You're going to really enjoy your guests. We've got some folks coming up from the Rogue River Valley to join us today. We've got Nic Lanier. He's a chef and comedian. We've got Freeway Farrell, born and raised in New Orleans, and we're going to talk about his time there and my brief time there, and a certain overlap we had. That's going to be real funny. Make sure to stick around for that. That's Freeway Farrell. We've got Nic Meier here. He's going to play some music, and we're going to have a bit of a chat. And we also got a couple of funny videos and a sketch for you. So I guess I should probably get to the opening theme song. Y'all want a professional opening theme, right? All right. Well, since we have our friends here from the Rogue River Valley, I've cooked up a little something just for them, and let's see how well this works. Oh, I realized the sound is not going to come out of the board. Oh no, major mistake. We forgot a certain cable. I hope I can find it right here. If not, we're going to just have to do what we can. I'll make mouth noises if I have to. I'm totally willing to do that. Oh, it's right there? Oh, thanks, Jeff. Awesome. Oh no, I forgot to. Everybody give a big hand for Jeff, our karaoke DJ and sound guy, and just an overall cool guy. He's going to be on the show next week with his band Face Transplant, and he's participated on the show in multiple ways before. He's basically our Chris Elliott, except he doesn't live under the stairs. All right, so let me make sure this comes through. All right, we should be golden. Let's watch our opening theme song. Unfortunately, Patrick Duffy, Charlene Tilton, and Victoria Principal couldn't be here tonight, and I couldn't afford the license to get Larry Hagman on postmortem satellite radio, so that wasn't going to work either. So, unlike last week's show, which was chock full of advertising, my producer was able to get us down to like one commercial break for this show. So, I'm excited. Let's just get it out of the way, and then we could go the rest of this show capitalism free.
This is KTVL, Medford, Oregon.
Ford introduces a
completely fake.
built in America, the front-wheel drive Ford Escort.
It's a total piece of shit.
It offers more room inside than
A coffin.
the Escort has.
A 2-foot power Flintstone engine.
Independent suspension, front-wheel drive, rack and pinion steering, and in many areas,
Load-bearing rust.
the new world Ford Escort available at Mach Ford to take on the world.
Mach Ford, selling fake cars to presumably real people.
Land Rover Homes. Castlemart calls them the extra homes.
Contrary to what you might expect, I'm not going to be making any jokes about manufactured housing or trailer parks here. And I'm not going to be calling it Medford either. And realistically, it's a cruel, stupid joke, and meth is everywhere anyway, and the only comics around here who have anything interesting to say about it, in my opinion, are Sam Miller and Eric Sparks.
Plus, huge display model discounts.
So come to the place with the crying white guy on the sign.
Castlemart in Phoenix.
I'm Dick McLaughlin, president of Jackson County Federal, and I want to tell you about several of our free services, such as
Money laundering.
sending safe deposit boxes for customers and
Need a place to receive and store stolen property.
the convenience of early bird
Stick up.
windows, which open daily at 7:30 a.m.
Polyester-clad, chain-smoking swingers.
Serve you in each of our 6 convenient locations. And Jackson County Federal is as strong as the people that built the Rogue River Valley.
Genocidal settlers and exploited Chinese labor.
All right, that's capitalism. Now, sometimes I don't think things all the way through. I realize, like, if our traveling comics came prepared with a whole boatload of meth jokes, I just poisoned the well on them in advance. So please forgive me. They are included. So yeah. So I should think these things through a little better sometimes. All right. So usually we have our guests on one at a time. And that's how we usually operate. But right now, I'm going to call all the comics to the stage. So everybody, I give it up for the return of Emilee. And I give a big round of applause for Nic Lanier, Freeway Farrell, and Meier. gonna get a mic check from everybody. Make sure.
Mic check.
Test, check.
Check.
All right. It looks like we've got some microphone action, and I'm gonna turn.
Were you gonna share one? I don't know.
Freeway,
Oh, it is. Oh, you're right. You know what? You guys probably will have to share one. We needed 5 mics, didn't we? We only have 4. Right, comedians do it? Yeah, let's you guys do it. All right. Okay. All right. Well, everybody give a big hand for Nick. A little faux pas on my part. Better plan. Yeah, go ahead and sit, everybody. All right, then Emilee, I'm gonna be the judge. You're gonna play this game.
No!
All right, everybody. Today's game show is called Medford or Grants Pass. We're going to be watching a little slideshow, and our contestants are going to be guessing afterwards, is this Medford or is this Grants Pass? And the winner receives absolutely nothing, and the loser receives absolutely nothing as well. So that's pretty much, our civilization in a nutshell. All right, let's get this started. So Freeway, where do you live currently?
Huh?
Do you live in Grants Pass?
Medford.
You live in Medford,
Yeah.
okay. And Nick, you live in Medford.
Yes.
And Emilee, do you know much about Medford or Grants Pass at all?
No, I've never been there.
Means you're totally gonna win this by a lot.
Yeah, she's gonna win this one.
All right, well, let's get started. All right, Medford or Grants Pass? Is this Medford or is this Grants Pass?
That is Medford.
Medford.
Grants Pass.
All right, it's Medford.
Middleford Alley.
All right, Emilee's down 1. All right, is this Medford or Grants Pass?
Grants Pass.
Grants Pass.
Bedford, absolutely.
All right, Emilee's down 2. All right, is this Medford or Grants Pass?
Oh, that's Grants Pass.
That's some dude's garage, man.
Yeah.
Grants Pass.
Medford.
All right, it's Grants Pass. All right, is this Medford or Grants Pass?
That is Medford.
Medford,
All right,
absolutely.
Emilee gets the first one right. Okay, is this next one Medford or Grants Pass?
Oh, that is Grants Pass for sure. We would not be calling that
Oregon.
Medford. Yeah.
That's Oregon.
God damn.
Let's go with Medford.
All right, yeah, that's actually Grants Pass. So,
Yeah.
no, Medford weed growers have a little more
Got
pride
one.
than that.
Yeah.
And Freeway, extra point, someone's garage. Yeah, that does make sense. That's probably our best answer. All right, next, is this Medford or Grants Pass?
Oh, shit. That's Medford for sure.
My son's mom. That's Medford for sure. She lives there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going Medford,
All right.
too.
Yeah, that's Medford. They were both Medford. All right, this next one, Medford or Grants Pass?
Medford. That's the feeling there. That's the vibe.
I'm going Grants Pass on this one.
Rogue River's not at all in it. Okay.
No.
So we'll say Medford.
No, this is actually Grants Pass.
Oh,
So
okay.
Emilee catches up. She's already down by 2.
Catches a break.
All right, this next one is this Medford or Grants Pass?
No, that's for sure Medford. It's, yeah.
You said it like you know. That's I don't know.
Yeah, that's Chad.
Yeah, Medford. Yeah. That's Chad. Yeah.
He parties.
This looks a lot like Florida to me. I don't know.
All right, Emilee's back tied. 2 bonus points because, yes, this is more Florida than Grants Pass.
Yeah, for sure.
Or Medford. All right, this next one, is this Medford or Grants Pass? Oh, no.
How strong is the roaring wind at this park?
Oh, that would be Grants Pass.
That's Grants Pass.
Sure, let's go with Grants
It's
Pass.
Grants Pass. All right, this next one, Medford or Grants Pass?
Oh, here we go. That is Medford, yeah.
Grants
We
Pass.
partied,
Grants
motherfucker.
Pass.
All right, well, you said Medford, you
I
all
did.
said Grants Pass. Okay, I'm going to have to say this is Grants Pass. It's from
Okay.
the 2023 Grants Pass noodle sorting competition. 2023 hasn't happened yet, improv fail on my part. But you can never say I'm not future forward. All right, so yeah, it's a 1-point game with Emilee and Freeway in front and Nick slightly behind with the bonus
snap.
points. All right, this next one, Medford or Grants Pass?
Yeah.
You realize that's in either Medford or Grants Pass. That's like a $1,600 rental.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm gonna go ahead and just shoot and say Grants Pass.
Grants Pass.
Medford.
You're both right. It is a $1,600 rental.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty much Rogue River standard. All right, this next one, Medford or Grants Pass?
I think that's our neighbor.
That's one way to honor your mother.
Child or a mutant chicken?
It's off camera. I have no way of knowing. I would hope it's a mutant chicken.
I'm gonna go with...
That's Grants Pass. It's in the boondocks. It's out there, you know?
Yeah, I'll go with Grants Pass too. That's how messed up both towns are. We can't decide.
Sure, let's
a
go
toss-up.
with Grants Pass.
Yeah, I mean, I can't argue with that.
Yeah.
All right, just a couple more before we're done with this ordeal here. Is this Medford or Grants Pass?
Grants Pass.
Yeah, the Bulls in Medford would hit somebody.
I'm gonna go with Medford.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say it's Grants Pass. I'm sorry, Emilee, Nick's right. The Bulls in Medford would be a little more efficient than that.
They're experienced.
They're experienced.
Hard.
All right, and our final one.
Mattress Land. That's Medford.
Everyone is overweight.
That's Medford for sure. It's an old Mattress Land commercial.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Medford. Medford does useless stuff like that.
Sure, you're right. Medford.
Yeah, it's totally a Medford thing to do. They wouldn't give them mattresses in Grants Pass. They just push the poor bastards.
No, yeah, like Medford, that has to be like county sponsored.
Yeah.
Money went into that.
There's got to be like an OSHA review and
Somebody paid to do that.
Well, this is the first time we've ever finished with a tie, but since Freeway got some bonus points for recognizing that garage weed, I'm going to declare our winner to be Freeway Farrell tonight. Everybody
Freeway,
give a big hand.
yeah.
All right, so Emilee, give everybody a big hand for Emilee. She's been fabulous playing along with the sketch, not even knowing she was going to be a part of it until right now. And so, is that that is 4. Huh? Emilee, you are done. All right, so Freeway, we'll call you back up to the stage after we're done with Nick's segment, but right now I want to reintroduce to you tonight's first guest, a gentleman of a scholar. No, we're going to move over to, like, I wish I had a band. We need some playover music from, like, the tech station at the desk.
I think Questlove is busy.
Pull up a chair. Yeah. Oh, you got a beer. I'll pull up a chair for you. See, that's what I get for cheaping out on production assistants. All right. So yeah, everybody, this is our first guest for tonight, Nic Lanier. He's a comic and booker in Medford, Oregon. He's been putting on amazing shows at the Ghostlight Playhouse. You can check those out on the Ghostlight's YouTube channel. And he's also a pretty renowned chef who takes extra steps. He's created an entire menu at his own restaurant that he was the executive chef for. And I have to say, I want to start right into that because, like, I love logistics. I love planning things and making them work. And I'm just like, I've worked at restaurants before, but I've never gotten so deep into it that I've had to like plan a menu out before, had the privilege of figuring out how ingredients go together and like what we can afford and what's available. Like, how do you even start with something like that?
I mean, that's the funnest part, you know, the discovery part. It costs a lot of money and there are a lot of mistakes, but you get to eat them all. So there's that. Logistics of running a restaurant are, you know, just like any other business, running a business is very boring at times, you know, but you are there 16 hours a freaking day. So, you know, it's a labor of love, really. I've always loved cooking since I was 10. So, you know, just get in there, you know.
Cool. And forgive my Swiss cheese brain. What was the name of the place you ran inside the theater?
It was called the Ghostlight Grill.
Oh, the Ghostlight Grill.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I mean, it's challenging. Like, were you navigating multiple food service suppliers to get your products from?
Yeah, I actually had to go shopping myself.
You had to go shopping yourself,
yeah, because
too.
we didn't have enough intake yet to be with like Cisco or food service.
So
or any of
Cisco
that.
wouldn't even bother with you.
Yeah, no.
Not even Chain Smoking Joe, the Cisco rep that's like, hey, y'all want some discount Swiss cheese this
Yeah,
week?
sure.
We'll give you a deal.
Yeah, no,
Just
it's
scrape
like
the mold off, it'll be fine.
it's like a minimum $1,000 order, you know, and
Wow.
or they won't even consider you, you know.
So you had to go through all the extra steps of getting high on your own supply.
That's right. Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, for sure.
How large was the menu you put together?
I think we had like 12 items. We only were able to open for a brunch service at the time, so biscuits and gravy, chicken and waffles, you know, all from scratch. And then we had our theater menu, which featured hot dogs that had hot dog buns made from scratch.
You made your hot dog buns from
Yeah.
scratch.
Yeah,
Wow.
every day.
Is that a sign of like dedication to craft or pure insanity?
Pure insanity.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I won't do it again.
All right. Well, next time I have a mental health episode and they ask me what's wrong, I'll just say I was baking fresh baked hot dog buns. They'll give me the grippy socks
Yeah.
and it'll all be taken care of.
Nobody really gives a fuck what the hot dog is in. They're just gonna shove it in their mouth anyway. It's yeah.
Like, did you make the hot dogs yourself, like putting them into the casings
Oh
and
no,
all that?
hell no.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
a little too far, Temple.
That's a little too far. Yeah, I've watched videos of that. I thought of maybe bringing one to the show, but it was a little more erotic than our general like
Right.
PG-13 or R rating here.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you ever really like need like a libido aid, like just watch somebody stuffing a sausage. Like you won't be let down.
Especially in Italian, stuffing a sausage, that's just, it's art.
So how did you manage your crew? Like, were you a taskmaster? Were you like a big lovable goof? Like, how'd you navigate that?
Yeah, I mean, I try to be right in between there, but really, I'm down to business. If you're on the clock, basically, yeah. If you have time for leaning, you have time for cleaning. You know, all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I am a fan of lists. I always write lists out, you know, constantly. But you know, follow the order of the list, and then we can have fun afterwards. You know, like
I like that.
yeah, like just get shit done, please. You know, like I've been here since 5 a.m. So no, it's I definitely try to run a tight ship, but at the same time I try to be friends with everybody. So,
I like that. And
Yeah.
that sounds like a modern, like trauma-informed kitchen
Right.
culture.
Yeah.
You know, I have loved watching Anthony Bourdain's shows throughout the years and listening to him talk about like the evolution of rigid French patriarchal abuse kitchen culture, and how that was perpetuated through fine
Yeah.
dining, and now they're starting to go beyond that into more humane environments. And
Yeah, for sure.
it sounds like you led by example.
Yeah.
You know, somebody's trying to slack, like, damn, boss is working 16 hours a day making fresh baked hot dog buns with his own tears instead of salt.
Yeah, I mean, like, classic French training is like, I don't know, it's a bully-like environment. So, like, the guy who trained Gordon Ramsay, his name is Marco Pierre White, he's not on TV. You don't see Marco Pierre White on TV because he's an asshole, you know? Now, Gordon has a lovable side to him, but, Marco was throwing knives at him in the kitchen and shit, you know? So, like,
That's horrifying.
it's something that we need to, move past, and be human to somebody instead of being like, oh man, you better get in there like a robot and get it done. If not, I'm gonna throw a knife at you, you know? And I've had somebody go Gordon or Marco on me in the kitchen before. So,
Well, I had to get my food handler's card for my job, and they mostly told us to just like wash ourselves after we go to the bathroom. They didn't say anything about knife throwing. Like,
Right.
are there regulations in
no
regards to that?
warnings, man.
Okay. It's like, I'm sorry, but you need to go to the knife handling class. You must take 2 weeks, 40 hours, then you throw a knife. Okay.
Handle this.
Handle this. Yeah, well, I'm never going to be going to a French cooking school, so I get
Yeah.
to live vicariously through the misappropriation of that of others.
On the other hand, French training is kind of military-like, because like French chefs only cook eggs for a year, like they have to master eggs before they move on to anything else, because eggs are a big thing in French cooking. So,
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. And they're also a big thing in French rioting. Like, they throw them at the cops.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah, or bad comics, whatever. I hope nobody brought eggs.
So, COVID has gotten in the way of a lot of restaurants, and you were saying that you're now working at a different venture under a different type of kitchen environment. What are you doing now?
So I'm managing a truck stop diner. Yeah.
Rad.
Yeah, I'm getting that corporate money though, so
Cool. Are there significant cultural differences between the way you would run a truck stop diner versus the former fine dining establishment?
Not really, no. You just expect everybody to pull their weight, and a lot of the time they do not. So
makes sense. Have you ever caught anybody ashing into like a tray on the cold table?
Oh hell no.
Okay.
I would kill them.
Hey, I'm sorry, we got a little gray sauce on your biscuit today.
It's just black pepper.
Just black pepper. Don't mind it. It's not flies. We keep the flies near the broiler.
Now, short order cooking is, it's you got to get it done within 12 minutes.
Absolutely.
So you have ticket times in the corporate diner style kitchen. So that's the hard part, is training people to keep within those times. And it's completely different, really, but the same at the same time,
And not as much leeway to be creative about like putting the whole thing together in the first place. I take it you inherited a menu.
Yeah, it's a corporate menu. Yeah, they have 400 locations. So.
Okay. So let's say that when this gig passes you, what do you want your next pyramid to climb in the cooking world to be?
So eventually, if I had my dream restaurant, I would open a place called Gastropub Comedy Club. And I would cook in the back and tell jokes out front, and but that's like a $500,000 venture. So if anybody's got $500,000,
I do.
Oh, James, thanks, buddy.
James
I
of the
see you.
Eugene Comedy Crescendo,
Yeah.
openly promoting me.
That's correct.
Right. Well, I certainly hope that you get that opportunity, or some semblance of that opportunity. And so we've talked enough about cooking. Tell me a little bit about how you got into comedy.
It's always been a love of mine since I was, so I was 16 years old, and my mom knew I liked comedy or whatever, so she got me Dane Cook's Tourgasm on DVD. Okay. Now, this is a tour documentary, basically, that spanned an 8-episode, run. I thought it was just a stand-up special. So I pop it in, and I'm watching these goofy guys go on tour in this bus, and I'm like, oh, that's what I want to go and do that, go and see the world and tell jokes. That would be so awesome, So it was kind of weird to see that and be like, oh, I thought this was a comedy special. but then I was like, oh, it sparked something in me. So, ever since I was 16, I wanted to do it. But I started real late, so,
It sounds like you and I had similar dreams. Like, you wanted to travel around in a bus performing, and I wanted to travel around in a bus too, except I wanted to stand near David Cassidy wearing spandex. and my bus would have the Mondrian painting on the side. I don't know what crap can you'd be riding, but I'd be coming on and getting happy.
Oh, man. Oh, man. That's a very similar dream, actually.
Rad. So I'm really excited to see your set tonight. You ready to do some stand-up with me?
Of course.
You cool if I sit here at the desk like a talk show host
have
and
at
laugh? All right, everybody, give it up for Nic Lanier, everybody.
All right. How is everybody tonight? That's what I'm talking about. Let's party. So I'm from Oregon, born and raised. That's right, hold your applause. I'm from Eastern Oregon. So the eastern side of Oregon, let's put it this way, I'm from such a small town that when you roll into town, even right now, there's still Trump signs up. They don't have internet, they didn't get the memo. I'm from such a small town that when I moved to Medford 18 years ago, I'm rolling into town with my mom and I'm like, wow, this must be a big town. It has sidewalks. That's my barometer for a big town, sidewalks. Yeah, so I've been in Medford for 18 years, and you get to know the people of Oregon living in Southern Oregon, and I've come to realize that Oregon hippies are their own breed. Yeah, it's like in the movies, they're all about peace and love and drugs. We're all about that here too, except an Oregon hippie will bust a cap in your ass. That's right, they got guns, you know? They're like, I can't explain enough the benefits of a kale cleanse. I feel 10 years younger. Is that someone in the ganja field? I'll be right back. The guy's staring down the barrel of the hippie's gun. He's scared, rightfully so. You know what, man? I'm not appreciating the vibes you're putting off here. And if I'm being honest, this is the wrong sanctuary to invade, brother. Now, if you're not careful, I have crystal tip bullets, and I'm not afraid to shoot you in your third eye, okay? Realign your chakras and shit. Yeah, we live amongst some awesome people. I smoke so much weed that even Snoop Dogg would look at me weird, you know? Be like, you alright, bro? You good? You know you can't afford that, right? You're right, Mr. Dog, I can't. Yeah, let's put it this way. During COVID, I hit more trees than George of the Jungle. Yeah, I love that joke because only like 3 people ever get it. It doesn't matter how big the crowd, I get a and that's my favorite part of the joke. So yeah, hitting all those trees, I was getting couch locked and I was flipping through the channels and I came across the Bob Ross channel. Anybody ever seen the Bob Ross channel? Yeah, there we go. We got a couple of fans in the house. His son Steve was on the channel. And his son Steve, he's carrying on the legacy of some luxurious hair and some beautiful paintings. But I can't help but think to myself, what if he has like a black sheep son, you know? Like, his name's Todd Ross. Now Todd, he has the luxurious hair too, but it's draped over his left eye. Good Charlotte plays in the background. You know what, Dad? I don't feel like painting happy trees today. I feel like painting sad trees. Sad, middle of the winter trees. Are you proud, Dad? No, you're proud of Steve. Put Steve on the channel. When is Todd's time? Yeah, smoking all that weed also. I don't remember my dreams. Yeah, it's kind of messed up. But I do remember my nightmares. So if I'm having a great dream where I'm titty fucking Kate Upton, I don't remember that. But if my demons want to titty fuck me, that shit's lucid. They're like, yeah, press them together, fat boy. And I just wake up in a cold sweat. Anybody ever go shopping while they're stoned? It's a very bad idea. It's very bad. Especially when you're hungry and stoned, you know? You end up buying some weird shit. Everybody has like weird cravings. Like, for example, my grandma says, you know, apple pie tastes really good with cheddar cheese melted on top. And I was like, you sure you don't want to hit this blunt, Grandma? Like, I'm ready to pass it. You're stoned. Don't mess with me, Grandma. You and your antics. I actually do have a weird craving myself. It's Flamin' Hot Cheetos and Lay's Ranch Dip, okay? Now, I wasn't even stoned when I came up with this. I was just a fat kid, all right? I'm like, what will give me diabetes faster? Huh? Dr. Pepper, Chaser. No. Anybody ever been the victim of an extra long exhale? Like you got your bong in your lap. Like a 109-year-old blowing out his birthday candles. That was a good one, bro. Load up another one. Yeah. Stoners are weird. You know? I'm cheap. Oh, what a good segue. I love it. I refuse to buy the latest phone on the market, so instead, every single day, I'm gonna struggle to get that fucker to charge. Turns out my phone's a freak. I gotta slap it around, tie it up, call it a bitch. Turns out my phone's gotta come before it'll charge. It's messed up. I did that joke one day and my brother goes, "Are you cheap or broke?" Touche. I see you. It's actually really true. I'm very bad with money. And as an example of that, one night in Medford a long time ago, I spent $1,000 in one night at the strip club in Medford. That's a rough night. Especially when you wake up the next morning and you realize that was rent money. Yeah, I'm bad with money. Okay. I'm gonna leave you guys with a little story. Old ladies like to hit on your boy. All right. Now, I was watching hockey on TV one day, and I was like, ice skating looks really fun. And you know what? 30 is the perfect time to try it, right? So I called my buddy Justin up. He plays pickup hockey every week. He knows how to skate, you know. So I'm like, Justin, meet me down at the rink. I want to learn how to skate. And after he was done laughing at me, he met me down there. And he did what a friend does, not what a teacher does, you know. Like, I'm out there, I'm struggling. I'm gripped to the side of the rink, just trying to stay on my feet. And he keeps skating by, offering up his helpful advice. Don't fall, bitch. So I get brave, and I start, you know, I let go of the wall, and I start drifting to center ice. I really didn't want to do that. So I'm looking at my feet. I'm just trying to stay off my fat ass, you know, just like. And then I hear skates coming up behind me. And I'm like, hey, Justin, you want to teach me something or keep skating around like a jackass? And I look up. It's not Justin. It is a 75-year-old woman, just great form, seriously, like it was impressive. At least 75. But I go back to looking at my feet so I don't fall on my ass. And a couple minutes later, I hear skates coming up behind me again. And this time, someone grabbed a whole handful of my ass cheek. All right? And I look up, it's fucking Betty. Look at that. There she is. And then she gets in my ear and she goes, you feel that? To which I reply, yes, ma'am. That's the muscle you need to balance on, big boy. It's all about the glutes. And then she hit me on the ass and hit a double axel and exited the ice in one fell swoop, leaving me with a confusing boner and the ability to skate a little bit better. But I haven't been back since, you know, in case Betty's out there on the prowl again. I've been Nic Lanier. Thank you, guys. Have a good night. Thank you, Temple.
Thank you, Nick.
I appreciate you.
Awesome. Keep it going for Nic Lanier, everybody. Right on, right on. One of these nights, like, my skirt is gonna, like, totally fall down because I have no butt. I mean, I have nothing to, like, support that whole part of my body with. Uh-oh, that's bad. I lost my title card. All right, fine. Back to the mattress people. You will be staring at the mattress people the rest of the night. So our next guest is also up here from Medford. He's really funny. I saw him perform at the Ghostlight Theater a few months back and definitely wanted to invite him up to be on my show. So everybody, welcome your next guest, Freeway Farrell. Awesome. Thank you for being on the show tonight.
You're welcome.
Right on. So your comedy entertained me greatly. I'm glad to have you here. And although we met in Medford, you have a history in New Orleans. Is that correct?
Born and raised.
Born and raised.
Yep. Born and raised in the Quarter.
In the Quarter.
Yeah.
Oh wow. What was growing up in the Quarter like?
Lots of alcohol. Lots of at an early age. Lots of drugs. Lots of crazy people. It was an adventure, we'll say, an adventure.
An adventure.
Yeah.
I would also assume like lots of horns, lots of beads, and lots of like stepping in vomit and going, oh crap.
Oh yeah, you get used to that.
You just get used to that.
That's daily life.
Yeah, I guess waterproof shoes probably come in handy living in the Quarter. Yeah. I lived there for a very short period of time. I should say stayed there. I lived in a kitchen for about a month over on Royal and St. Anne.
Lived in a kitchen?
I lived in a kitchen, yeah.
I slept in the kitchen?
I slept in the kitchen and I had to like get up my bedroll every morning before they woke up to get ready to go to work and stash it in the corner and yeah, I was. It was an interesting time. For a while I lived in a hostel called India House over in Mid City off of South Lopez.
There's so many of them. I'm not familiar with them.
And like I walked into the place and they're like, hey, like, do you know anything about like how to fix a toilet? And I'm like, yeah, I can fix a toilet. So I fixed a broken toilet. They're like, we need like a maintenance person here. You can like live here for free if you just like do maintenance. And I'm like, I don't know, and you know, so they gave me a budget of $30 a month to like maintain the hostel. I'm sure they were embezzling the rest. It was interesting. So I bought a lot of spackle, and like if anything needed spackle, I was on top of it. But if it needed anything more than spackle, there wasn't really much I could do for them unless they had some newspaper I could wad up and put underneath the spackle.
I had a lot of interesting jobs there. Obviously comedy doesn't pay real well.
No, of course not.
So I was a barker for one of the strip clubs.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's interesting. Especially when the women you're barking for inside are not the kind of people you want to be selling to other people. It's an adventure as well.
Yeah.
I did a couple bartending gigs. That's always fun. I was a bouncer for a family in New Orleans. I brought money from a club with several large men to their office.
Okay.
Because every night they would take a big bundle of cash and they had one person carry it there, where you would then bring it in the office. They would take your picture and then collect the money from you. I never knew who they were or what was going on, but I made sure the money got there.
Did you also make sure that you had a fresh shave so you look good in the picture?
No, I didn't care.
Okay.
I was more concerned with what the two big guys behind me were going to do if any of that money was at any way lower than it should be.
Whereas me, I'm just concerned about how all those pictures ended up looking on your OnlyFans.
No, they would put them up on a board.
Put them on a board.
There'd be like days of just you holding up money. My ransom.
So the other job I had when I worked there, I worked at an adult store in the French Quarter, and it was called the Charter Street Connection, and I had to put two and two together many years later, but I remember when I got there, people would be like, oh, do you know Freeway? And I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't even drive. I ride a bike.
I get that a lot.
And anyway, I gleaned that there was somebody awesome who used to work there named Freeway that I was never going to meet, and something happened.
What shift did you work?
Well, I worked, usually I worked the night shift.
I was midnight to 8.
Midnight to 8, yeah.
Where you see the weirdest shit in the world.
I'm pretty sure I was your replacement on that midnight to 8.
That's possible. I got fired. That's the one of only 2 jobs I've ever been fired from.
Oh, wow. What was the other?
The other was another cab. I'm a cab driver now. It was a different cab company. I told the boss where to go.
Yeah, every once in a while you have to tell somebody what short period or take a long walk off of.
I got fired. I got fired from the porn shop. There were 2 reasons, and there was one that kind of capped it. But one of them was the security guy calls me. He says, "You need to come in. I got to discuss something with you." And I'm like, oh shit, I didn't steal anything that he knows of. So I go in there and he sits down, he has a VCR. I don't know if you remember, but that place was heavily camped. There was a camera everywhere.
It took me days to find the off-cam spots.
Oh, there's not many. There wasn't many. Well, he sits down and he goes, I just want you to know before I show you this, I have 36 hours of you doing this. Now my head's racing. I'm going, what? 36 hours of me doing what? Please no camera in the bathroom. Please no camera in the bathroom. He turns it on, and because they had those cameras, and I can't stand that whole being watched all the time by a boss. He had 36 hours of me standing there, still as can be, staring into the camera. He's like, you do this for 36 hours. You don't clean. You don't do anything. You don't move. You just stare into the camera. So I was put on warning. You need to be animated while you work. Stop staring and freaking us out. So now I'm like, okay, fine. I will converse with people then. Ooh. This is why I got fired. 2 gentlemen come up to the counter after a lot of giggling with the toys, and they you remember, I don't know if you remember this, you had to ask specially for the gallon of lube, because they kept that in the back.
Yeah, that was in the back.
So we have a gallon of lube? I'm down, okay. You want to get slippery. I get it. So I give them the gallon of lube, and then they put down the toy they were buying.
Okay.
It was a fisting dildo.
Okay.
shaped like this, and they set it down, and I had to ask. There are two of you. You have 4 arms. Count your holes. What do you need the 5th one for? Like, at what point have you two discussed, a 5th hand would make this so much fun? And they were like, well, you see, and they couldn't explain it. I kept prodding them. No, you gotta tell me, what is the 5th hand for? Like, is it the watch? Is it an example? I want you to do this. They couldn't get it out. They told them, later they came in, they told the manager that I was making fun of them, which I replied, I was not. I was making fun of the toy. I was for whatever they wanted to do. But if they preferred, I could not make fun of the customers, and I would happily go back to just staring at the camera. For which the security guy said, get out. Just go. That's why I got fired from that.
Wow. So basically, you were trying to get a clarification about some fisting practices, which led to me getting a job.
Do the math. I wasn't making fun of them, just explain the math.
And then here's how I'm going to bring it all the way back around to you. 20 plus years after we're both long gone from this pornography shop, I'm going to complete this story by saying, obviously, one or both of them had arthritis.
No, I don't think so.
It gets really terrible trying to clench up your fist like that all day
They were
long.
young, they had the same size hand. I'm telling you, the math ain't there.
No arthritis.
The math wasn't there. There was a third party that was missing or something.
All right. Well, I mean, I can understand the boys taking it wrong a little bit, but at the same time, curiosity doesn't always kill the cat. Sometimes it just gives it a cool haircut,
Or stretches it out.
Or stretches it out a little bit. Right on. And so, yeah, we talked about this when we met at the comedy show, and I thought it was really funny that basically I ended up getting that job at the porn shop after Freeway left. And do you remember Larry, the other guy that worked nights by chance?
I don't.
He was gay and he smoked like a chimney, and he ended up dying because he got bit by a brown recluse spider. And he left the hospital too soon because he couldn't stand it. He went back to work and then he died a few days later. It was really
in the shop?
No, he didn't die in the shop.
You don't want to die in a porn shop in the quarter of the hour.
No.
Things are gonna happen.
Yeah,
to you.
your security guy is gonna be like, wait a minute, there's nobody on camera.
No, your ghost is gonna need therapy for that one. So it's not something you want to do.
Yeah.
No.
So, are you down for doing some comedy for us tonight?
I can do some comedy for you.
All right, that sounds great. I'm excited to hear your set. Everybody give it up for Freeway Farrell.
Can I keep this one? Or
you keep that one.
Okay. I gotta admit, I'm not happy. I liked it when you had your card up there.
Yeah, I did too.
I
can fix that.
If you can, because what I enjoyed about it was it had 2 meanings. It had 2 very important meanings. It had this lovely talk show. Everyone give it up for Temple and the Talk Show. And it also had that wonderful look of, this fucker parked on my lawn. And I'm going to use this hammer to show him not to do that. You play with that. Well, there we go, see? Is that not a park here again? We all have that one place we've lived where with that one neighbor, we're like, park here again. That is that, do it right now. Get in your car, park there again. I like that picture.
Thank you.
Very nice.
All right, I'm gonna go back to my beard.
Go back to your beard. So as we told you, my name is Freeway Farrell. That is my given real name. My name was Freeway when I was born. What that comes from is Dad did a shit ton of drugs. Like, he did a lot of drugs. Like, he'd be like, Dad, why'd you name me Freeway? And he'd either say one of 2 things. He'd either go, well, the dog had Ringo. Or he'd be like, Quaaludes make you do some crazy shit, man. You could have been named so many different things. You could have been urinal. You could have been off-ramp. Fuck you, officer. No, I'm not stopping. Farrell. I used to get teased a lot when I was a kid. I remember this one chick had me pinned down, and I was laying on the ground, and she was sitting on my chest, and she just kept going, You have a stupid name. That is the dumbest name I have ever heard. Your parents were drug addicts. You're a stupid person. And the whole time I'm like, fuck you, Grandma. Get off me. Pastor John had to help. Yeah, it was rough. I'm 52 years old now. 52. Let me answer something for you. When you hit 52, the spot you're gonna die is something you look for. You pretty much walk around your house going, oh, that would be okay. But that looks more comfortable. They'd have to drag me. No, because if I release my bowels, I'm gonna be alright. You find the spot as you get older. You just look for it. And it's there. The spot when you get 60, you'll actually just every day you'll go by it and go, this is my spot. I'm gonna die right there and leave a stain. 52 years old, believe it or not, I'm somebody's father. Yeah, that was a lie. I lost a bet with the devil on that shit. I hate kids too. Can't stand little bastards. Kids are good for a few things. First of all, they're the veal of humans. But my kid, see, I lost a bet. I lost a bet in a bad way. My kid is 14 years old now, and he tested as literally a genius. He has a extremely high IQ, like ridiculously high. This is the kid, I bought him 3 airsoft guns. You folks familiar with what airsoft guns are? Little fake BBs, you fucker. I bought him 3 airsoft guns. This kid took the 3 airsoft guns to his room, returned a half an hour later, and he had combined all 3 guns into one gun. And was looking at me going, have you seen the cat? Check out the flamethrower. Yeah, you laugh. I'm living with Jigsaw. He did this thing one morning. He wakes me up. I'm sound asleep. Dad, get up. What? Get up. What's going on? Are we okay? Am I tied up? And he said, no. Do we have any copper wire and magnesium? No. Why would you wake me up and ask me, do you know what time it is? No, I took my alarm clock apart. Why did you take your alarm clock apart? I'm making a taser. And you giggle? Every morning at about 4:15, I cry a little bit and pee my pants. Do you want to know why? That taser worked one time. One time. I was like, son, that thing ain't gonna poop. That was it. It's dangerous living with him. What did he do to my cat? Like, I gotta know where this cat is at all fucking times. Because something's wrong with it. It just laughs a lot. My son's like, don't feed it after midnight. He got really, really, really into the show Breaking Bad. We're all familiar with Breaking Bad, right? He got like into that show. And I'm a cab driver, part-time. So I go out to do a ride, and it was peaceful when I left. I come home, this damn kid has shit all over my kitchen. There are beakers, there's pots, there's just burners and things going, and he's wearing a full-on hazmat suit. He's got the goggles on. I'm like, where did you get a hazmat suit? He's like, you can get anything on the internet, Dad. You need a wife? So I said, what are you doing? And he said, I looked into it, and I completely recreated the meth from Breaking Bad. And I was like, no, you fucking didn't. Please tell me you didn't. And he goes, no, I did. He goes, and he shows it to me, and it looks like meth. It's like, whoa, my God, son, you can't do that. He goes, it's the recipe they use on the show. It's just rock candy. I'm gonna take it to school and sell it to the diabetics. No, you're not gonna do that. You are grounded from Breaking Bad. Now we're sitting on the couch about a week later, and he says, so, there's nothing to watch. You want to watch your Breaking Bad? And, shut up, don't judge me. It keeps him quiet. He's like, I'm not into Breaking Bad anymore. That show's boring. I've already seen it. I know where it's going. I don't care. I am curious, though. What is Dexter like? Yeah, you're grounded from TV, kid. You are not watching that one. How much more time do I got? Like 3 minutes? I'll end you guys on this little story. About 2 or 3 years ago, I got set on fire. And I mean, flames everywhere, the kind of thing you see in the movie. Usually the bad guy dies when this happens. I had gotten a new job, and me and the son decided to go out to the fire pit, and we were going to have a big celebration fire, and I started a fire. And I told my son, please go into the garage and grab Dad's poker. And he shuffled off to grab the poker, and as he left, I heard in the fire. Naturally, because I'm a stoner, I thought I should look at that. So I walked over and I leaned into the fire, and I don't remember the whole explosion. I remember hearing the sound. I remember my neighbor saying it sounded like somebody had just blown up a whale. I remember that when you're on fire, a few things go through your mind. Obviously, God, put me out! Please, I'm gonna die! Oddly for me, one of the thoughts was, I smell good. And I'm delicious. That's confirmed. And another one was, of course, I gotta do this. I gotta put myself out. So I started rolling on the ground, trying to put myself out. It was leaving trails of something on the ground as I did that. My son said fat trails. I had goats at the time. I managed to roll over to a trough, which I poured onto myself, tipped it over, put myself out. I'm laying there on the ground, clothes are burned off, I'm steaming, skin is red and burnt. And then it got warm again. Like warm but different. And I open my eyes and I look up and there's my son. Peeing on me. I said, what are you doing? He goes, you were smoldering. Cut to a week later, I'm sitting there on the couch again, bandages all over me. Dog, there's me and the dog's sitting there. This is a little sub note. The dog is sitting in between me and my son, and we start hearing I'm like, Jesus, dog, do you need gravy with that? Holy shit, my son looks at me and goes, that's not as easy as it looks. Not at all. Well, we're sitting there and my son says, hey Dad, I got something I need you to sign. Oh, for school? No, it's release papers. Release, what? Release papers, yeah, you remember that fire the other night? No, I forgot it. I'm wearing bandages, I look like the mummy. No, I forgot the fire. And he says, I just need you to sign these real quick and don't repeat to anybody what happened. This is a true story. So I just, I'm playing along. I signed the papers and my thing, and he runs off to his room. A few minutes later, I hear him on the phone with one of his friends. Fucker fell for it. I love it. He can't sue. I know that much. And then I gets quiet for a minute and I hear him say, all right, so here's what you do. When he leans into the fire, oh, never mind, your dad's cool. Fuck you, kid. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Give it up for Freeway Farrell, everybody. Right on, right on. Well, we have one last guest tonight, certainly not least. He's our musical guest tonight. He's also an accomplished comedian. He's here from the Rogue River Valley. Everybody, I want you to give a really big round of applause for Nic Meier. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Temple.
Thank you for being on the show tonight. Have you enjoyed yourself so far?
This has been an illustrious evening.
Yeah, and I bribed you to say that, and so that was 10% of my entire show budget.
This is great. I am going to say that I had to swallow my throw up after the dog licking its asshole or vagina impersonation. That was quite the pizza churning stomach of the story.
Yeah, and you know, I'm glad I didn't tell the story about me licking my own asshole tonight. You know,
Yoga is paying off.
Yeah, yoga is more than paying off. I'm flexible. I've got John Belushi going on here, basically.
Emilee is your instructor, or you instruct?
No. I'm the student all the way. Like, I'm the yogini for sure. I'm certainly not the yogi.
James Blaine was there.
Yeah, but he provided the mats and like
the wine
and the insurance paperwork. Don't forget the insurance. You know, that's like a really important part.
Look at that suit jacket. He's got insurance papers for sure.
Yeah, like he's got insurance salesman written all over him there. Yeah. So you're our musical guest tonight. That's fabulous.
Thanks everybody for sticking around.
Tell us a little bit about some of the selections you'll be playing tonight.
I went to college on the border of Canada in Michigan.
Okay.
And along with drinking alcohol, I wrote music and escaped my anxiety with music. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And,
I've escaped and/or exacerbated my anxiety with music for a number of years.
Yeah, it's one of the only ways you can distract yourself from the segregation and racism in Michigan. You know what I mean?
Oh,
it's not funny. Huh? It's just music. Yeah.
So I take it. I take it was a pretty racist place up in northern Michigan.
Yeah, it's kind of like Southern Oregon. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I almost want to tell James' story, but you can just tell it's in the air, and people just kind of non-verbally just kind of give you some, some implications.
That's unfortunate, Like what little I know about northern Michigan, like I know there's that one town where they don't let people drive a car, and so then like Trump showed up and drove a car there, and
you know more about Michigan than I do.
Yeah, and then there's like some place called Sault Ste. Marie, which is our nation's number 3 producer of salt, our number 2 producer of saints, and our number 1 producer of people named Marie.
Yeah. You have more jokes about the place I graduated with a bachelor's degree than I do.
Well, I tell you, my mentor is from Michigan, Dr. David Nyland, and like if I can get him on this show someday, I could die happy. But him coming to Eugene, like we would have to have like a major mental health conference in Eugene. So if any of you out there are clinicians or practitioners, please organize a conference so I can see my friend. Thank you. Yeah. So you're talking about music helping you alleviate anxiety. Do you want to talk a little more about that?
Yeah, I mean, just if you ever see anybody who's like a audiophile, then they could be escaping something that they're dealing with, and it's always good to try to provide a little bit of insight for what somebody might be dealing with. So that's kind of what I was talking about when you're like, "What do you want to talk about?" I realized that I don't have much more to say other than everybody watch out for your fellow human out there.
Yeah, that's big.
And
yeah, that's big.
I know we know about that here in Eugene. It's like I should go to Michigan, maybe say that, but.
Yeah, they'll probably. You're trying to steal our children and convert them to liberalism.
Yeah, that's communism. Thank you.
I don't trust them lefties on the Fox News. The One America Network is 3/4 of an America too many for me, Pico.
It's Did you get an email from Michael Moore? Because that's exactly what he says about Michigan.
No, one time I got a mediocre blowjob from Michael Moore, but that's all I've gotten from him.
He's from Flint. I would think he would get a fucking neck snapping blowjob.
Well, I mean, I have high standards, and yeah.
You need to throw neck pretty hard.
You know, Roger and me, I assumed would be a 4-way, but it didn't work that way. And, yeah. What else was there? Like bowling for Columbine. I'm sorry, like the fisting joke that Freeway was telling went far enough. I'm not getting into bowling balls, so it's too much for me. My poor little tushy. I perform music too, and I'll be my own musical guest on a future episode, as self-indulgent as that'll be.
So let's flip the script on this shit. So what would you say your style of music is?
I have two styles of music. I have country punk, and I have what I call bubble goth.
Yes.
Country punk is like, I'm singing about rural lesbians doing cool rural lesbian shit, and then I've got gothic punk, which is like bubble goth, which is like, we're left in the Badlands to scavenge copper wire, dusty silver panels and forgotten drug stashes. Civilization is a pyramid scam, repeatedly appearing in brief brilliant flashes. You know, dark shit like that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a switch up on tonight's ballad. We will be having tempo music, and fuck this fucking obviously cis white douchebag.
No, you are a sweetheart, and you're trauma-informed, and you're kind, and empathy just like bleeds out through your comedy, and I'm sure it will in your music as well.
I'm thinking about it. I'm going to leave it to the audience. I'm going to play some serious music that I wrote to try to escape Michigan, and I'm going to play some funny stuff. So it'll be up to you, you know, to discern between the two.
I like that. Is it okay if I cry during the funny stuff and laugh at the sad stuff?
There's going to be tears throughout.
This is perfect, because my eyes are relatively dry, and I think I've got some lunch up in there somehow. I don't know how you get seafood salad in your own eye, but I managed to do so.
How about the blowjob vigorosity that you were talking about?
You know, like, I've been asexual for a long minute, and it's like, you know, either that or I've been given all the blowjobs in the world for a long minute. I don't care about honesty, I care about funny. Honesty, schmonesty. Y'all want me to be authentic up here. Hey everybody, I'm an authentic comedian. I'm depressed, and every day I have to decide whether or not to continue this miserable existence. Thank you. No, I'm gonna get up here and tell you a bunch of crap about Fred Meier that I made up off the top of my head.
I know, and you didn't even mention that Fred Meier is actually downtown Medford.
Fred Meier's in downtown Medford. Okay, it is downtown Medford.
Yeah, they say downtown Medford. You're like, what, where is it? And they're like, oh no, they meant Fred Meier. Go inside Fred Meier, and that's downtown. That's where all the people are at.
See, Medford has so much potential. It just needs an opportunity to bring some certain things together, you know.
Well, that's what they have Uptown for, which is Costco.
Oh, okay.
Costco.
Yeah. But
real money.
Real. But no, I like the Ghost Light Playhouse. I like that. That's a downtown. I mean,
let's give it up for Nic Lanier bringing that place up.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you about ready to perform for us?
We just keep talking.
All right, excellent. So, if you're betting the playoffs this year, or the NBA playoffs this year, do you think that my $10,000 bet on Memphis to win it all is a smart investment or foolhardy?
I think 6 months ago you could have got me to go a little bit further on that investment, but
okay.
I do think now that, hindsight, we have to say that was better investment.
Okay, and my bet on LeBron James's pants to fall down sometime within the last final 5 games of the NBA season did not work out. His pants did not indeed fall down.
No.
And NBA players' pants don't fall down nearly enough for my particular taste. I'd like to see a lot more of those pantsless bloopers, if you ask me.
I love it. I want to ask you about your guitar. How far has your guitar traveled?
My guitar has traveled all across the country, at least from New Orleans and Chicago over to here.
Oh, that's across.
Yeah, I mean, it's not all the way to the East Coast. I've never been to the East Coast. I haven't been to Canada yet. You know, I couldn't just sneak over drunkenly like you could in Northern Michigan. You know?
Oh, hey, I'm just going over there to get some gravy and fries. Arrive with me then.
Poutine, bitches.
Yeah.
But no, I've performed here. I performed in New Orleans. I performed in Las Vegas, Chicago, Salt Lake City. never to a large crowd. I'm just grateful to have anybody pay attention when I do whip it out. But have you seen my guitar? She's a beautiful silver.
I did.
Yeah,
I watched that too, very
yeah.
good.
If you watch my YouTube channel, Temple the Bard, I've got some of my musical performances up there. You can check out my all steel guitar. It's Korean, fine Korean craftsmanship in the style of Hawaii.
Of course. I would expect nothing
Cultural
less.
appropriation at its finest. Through a lens of international imports. Yeah. All right. Anyway, I don't think much of this is going to be funny, whether we talk about guitar
Cool, let's do some
construction.
music.
Yeah, I think you should do some music. So everybody, give it up for your musical guest, Nic Meier, who's going to be performing within seconds, hopefully.
Play me off, Johnny.
Everybody give it up for my house band, including Nurse Severinson and Marsalis. And don't give it up for Quest Hate because he's ornery.
Have I set the mood with this finger picking action?
Yeah.
It's a little curveball. This could be the funny one, could be the serious one. Finger picking. Who knows? I was on a date with a girl I met on the internet. I didn't say I have much luck. That's just how they like to do it now. We got to the restaurant. She did not order the lobster. Thank God. I don't think my $50 gift card's gonna cover it. Ooh, the waiter came over and said, "What can I get you to drink?" She pulled a big clit move and ordered 2 glasses of wine at the same time. And when the waiter brought them to the table, he put one in front of me. And then she pulled this move. And she fucking took a sip at the same fucking time. I've never seen anything like it. But I knew that 2 glasses of wine at the same time meant an increase of my chances. Of getting up inside those pantses, oh yeah. That's stupid. Let's just forget it. Flirting back and forth and testing the waters. And I thought it was going great. So I said, "Excuse me, I'm gonna go to the bathroom." Immediately, she got out her phone. Ooh, yeah, I walked into the bathroom, bunch of rednecks taking up every single stall. Piss splattering everywhere, and slurs. Anyway, so I walked to the back and handicap one. And when I closed the door, I turned around. It was not cleaned up very well. Unlike the bathroom at this fine establishment, there was those little like pigtail pubes on the brim. Oh God, they wouldn't go anywhere. The dry bile that's inside of your piss when you urinate actually worked as a adhesive. And there was 2 different spectrums of brown and green at the bottom of the toilet. So I'm just like, good God, give me some toilet paper. Let's make a nest. So I sat down, made sure I got another handful of toilet paper, jammed it in between the toilet seat, and
what I call a Johnson. I call it a small penis joke. That was stupid. You all know I have a small penis. Why do I need to say it? Ooh, so I'm sitting there and I discover that I have my THC vape in my pocket. Uh-huh. Okay, this side of the room doesn't smoke weed. Is that what's going on? Fuck you guys. This is my corner over here. In fact, so I took 3 hits. First one went well, yeah, tasted real good. Second one went well, but that third one I breathed in a little too deep. And then I passed out. Was breathing too deep or something. And then I came to, what the fuck is going on? How long have I been in this bathroom? I still have a date waiting for me out there. What the fuck is going on? I pissed myself. There's pee all over this toilet paper nest. Shit. Okay, it's dried. It's mostly dried. Fuck, I've been here for a long time. I just fucking got up right then. Shit, she's probably not even there. She's probably left. What the fuck is this guy doing? Yeah. So I just bursted up, put my pants on, and ran back to the table. She was still there, luckily. I said, sorry about that delay. I was just talking to some rednecks in there, correcting them on the verbiage they were using in a public bathroom. This here's a family establishment. No, I said kite. I was like, no, you didn't. I heard you talking about them. Kites control the entertainment industry. I think you're wrong, sir. Okay, that's too close for Eugene. Ooh. He came up from Medford. He probably doesn't like them Jews, so fuck this guy. We ain't laughing at fucking flying too close to the sun. Racist jokes. So we're sitting there and she said, your place or my place? I'd never been asked that question before, so for some reason I said, well, do you have cats? Yeah, seven cats, and she started naming them. Sylvester, Theodore. I was like, oh, we'll go to my place, fuck you. But let's carpool, okay? So we jumped into her Honda Civic, circa 1999. Good year. She pumped up a little Alanis Morissette, got the mood going. It sure got my gooch wet. Yeah. Oh. All right, I got my perineum wet. Makes it less sick. We pulled up to my place. It was getting hot and heavy. Up the front porch steps, hot and heavy. Through the front door, even hotter and heavier. Ooh, past the living room and kitchen, that's all I have in my apartment. And right into the love den. I call it the love den because love's, sometimes occurs there. It may be between me and just the train, but love still occurs. That's actually exactly what I sound like when I come, so we'll just skip. Stupid. What the fuck am I doing? Help.
Here's a meta commentary about the guy on the stage who's a little bit scary. He told a joke with a word that rhymes with bikes that I'm gonna have to bleep out on the YouTube version of this. Speaking of piss, I've got this weird muscle thing.
Piss.
I don't want to talk too much about it, but I have to wear a lot of underwear. I change often.
I should probably do kegels like pregnant femmes. That's all I gotta say.
Temple the bar, yeah! Like I said, we were making out hot and heavy, getting our shit going, taking off each other's items of clothing. That's when she stopped the whole thing. She's like, that's it. I'm taking your pants off. Sweet. I don't know if I made the face. I might have made the face. Ooh, her hands went to my belt. I heard on the clipping sounds. I got, oh yeah, go. And then I heard zip. And that's when things really slowed down. Now she stopped everything at that moment. And I heard her actually go, yeesh. I've never heard anybody say yeesh in sex before, except for the Yiddish lady I slept with once, but I'm not going to count that one. Because yeesh actually means great. Alright, the Jewish jokes are done. Nobody fucking likes them.
Dude, it's Passover.
Yeah. Oh shit, that's what's going on. Shabbat Shalom, right? That's how you pronounce it, yeah. So I was like, what? Was everything wrong? Emilee? Oh shit, I'm sorry. That was her name. It doesn't, anyway, Rachel. That was super unintentional, I didn't mean that. Except for you, every fucking white girl is named Emilee. Like, you're the only totally, like, obviously, maybe not 100% a white lady, you know? Looking, that's not in Emilee. So we're gonna skip over that. You're really saving the Michigan Emilee name. They're all pieces of shit. And you're really smart and talented. I'm never gonna get invited back to this place. I was just like, okay, like, what's wrong? She stopped, everything okay? And she's like, actually, listen, you're a really sweet guy, and I had a really great time tonight, but you got some dried little specks of toilet paper on the end of your penis, and I don't think there's any way I can do this tonight. I was like, what? I got a hot tub and a shower. We're gonna wash them shits right off right now. It'd be no problem. And she's like, no, I'm sorry. I don't think I can do this tonight. And then she bolted out the house. And with my pants around my ankles, I started debating. It's just one more chance. I mean, it was when I was in the bathroom. I hit my vape and I passed out. You know, when you do that. It's no big deal. You've done it. No, she turned the corner down the sidewalk, and now she started fumbling for those keys. And here I come, right behind her. I was like, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean for it to go this way. I'm so embarrassed. Let me give you my number in case we can, try it again. And I didn't know you could actually school the tires with a Honda Civic, but she did that night. It was gone. I was like, no! And that's when I noticed some porch lights coming on. And my neighbors were coming out of their house. And one of them yelled, what's going on here? So I said, Bruce, this is between me and her. Get the fuck back in your house. He's like, stand right here. Fine. I don't know what made me do it, but I actually gave chase to her car. I don't know what I was really thinking. I know it was the wrong thing to do. I see the frowns back there in the back row. I know I shouldn't be chasing, but I did. This could be a made-up story for fun. I don't know. And then she made a fatal mistake. She put on her blinker and stopped at the stop sign. You're gonna advertise that you're gonna go right. I'm sure if a police officer came here right now and he saw you not stopping at a stop sign, he would stop at the pantsless man chasing you right behind you. But she didn't. She stopped at the sign. I was like, I'm gonna cut her off the pass. I'm gonna go right in front of Bruce's yard, and I'm gonna get her. I'm gonna jump right in the hood of her car, and I'm gonna make this work somehow. I have never had anybody swipe the right direction with me on Tinder. This is my only chance. I'm gonna make it count. Right then I tripped on his sprinklers, fell down flat on my face, and I chipped my tooth, and I'm sitting there tongue in my chipped tooth, and a couple tears started falling on my face, okay? And it was over, and I saw her tail lights disappearing into the wild blue yonder. That's when I felt a hand on my shoulder. I looked over, it was Bruce. Hey Bruce, I'm sorry I yelled at you, man. It's been a bad night. I'm so sorry, dude. He's like, it's all right. I just want to come over because I'm a therapist. And he put his business card in between my butt cheeks. And I was like, do you have any openings next week? He's like, yeah, I'll clear my whole schedule for you, buddy. We're gonna get you in there on Monday. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I just had to get that off my chest. I don't know.
That's the best song I've ever heard about like having incontinence and then like lying that you're like schooling racists in order to get over it, and then like violating consent horribly but getting your comeuppance. But yet Bruce understands you were just a little bit drunk and like holds space for you.
That's the best story you ever heard with those characteristics? How many of those stories have you heard in my life? I mean, what's going on here?
13 and a half.
The half stopped.
I used to run a mental health program, so I heard everything. Yeah.
So they came out of the bathroom after hitting the vape, and the vape was gone. That was the half.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They still chased somebody down the street. That got weird at the end. I apologize to everyone. But, thank you for Nick, my comedian confidant, for capturing the moment and gonna blackmail me later.